made it be my way.
Ready?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is your host, Shalon, and I'm here with your co-host,
K1.
And we are back with another episode of Blerd Buster. This time we are talking about The Last of Us. I know you guys are excited about it. And I think this episode is going to be dope because I've actually played the game and I'm watching the show, and K1 is just watching the show.
I'm a baby.
Yeah, so you get both perspective. So I guess if you want to jump in, or do you want me to jump in?
I can jump in from what little I know.
Okay.
Like, of course, like we said in the beginning or whatnot, like, I'm familiar with the game. I never played the game, but I've watched some of the gameplay here or there. And when I found out it was coming out with a show, I'm like, all right, well, this is my chance to actually, see what the game was about and things of that nature or whatever. But the deeper I got into the show, the more I found, like, a lot of people was like, it's nothing like the game. I'm like, shit. Yeah.
Right.
That was the whole purpose of me watching. Right.
Right.
Like, they tell me ain't nothing like the game. Like, all right.
Yeah.
But I mean, so far, I've enjoyed it. Like, a lot of parts have been cringy to me, like as far as the acting. But that's for me looking from the perspective of a show and acting wise. But that's all I had to offer to it. So,
Yeah, I think, and I try not to be too biased because I'm one of the people that played the game, and I would put it on my top. I would put it on my top 5 games because it just was that good. And I think for me, it's like, because I have like my dad and my sister, my baby sister, watches the show as well, and they're like, well, it's good, especially my baby sister. She's like, she loves it. But for me, playing the game, I'm like, it's like certain things that they took out, certain things that they chose to change. I mean, the first episode was pretty solid, but it's just like, if you've seen like the cut scenes in the game, the acting hits so much harder versus what they chose to portray in the show. And it's just like, as like as a lover of the game, I'm just disappointed. Because I get it, like when you do adaptions and you can't do everything the same way. I guess some people are like, if you're going to do something, don't try to do it the same way. But I know for me personally, it's like, I don't mind if you're going to change something, it's still like, don't stray too far off. Don't, and for example, like, I think one of the things that I didn't like for, I don't know what episode it was when they brought Bill and Frank in, which, by the way, beautiful love story.
Beautiful.
I don't have no gripes about that beautiful love story. But in the game, Frank is not even in the game. And the only reason why you know about him is because if you pick up notes in the game and stuff like that, which I told you when we talked about it. And it's like, I hate the way they did it, because I feel like that's my favorite part of the game, first of all. And the whole section of that game is them trying to find this car battery. They have to survive in Bill's town, survive all his booby traps, because he legit took this town, like how in the show they portrayed it, right? He took a whole town, but he booby trapped it out. And they have to like navigate to get to his house, and then they get to his house just to find out that he don't even have the battery. And it's like, then they have to go to a school, fight off hordes of zombies. Then they come across their first bloater, which is the big juggernaut as zombie. it's like it's and I'm sorry, that's not it. When they get the battery, they have to Ellie has to drive or steer the truck. Joel has to push and shoot at the same time. And even before that, I left out another part. But even before when they first get to Billstown, Joel actually gets trapped in one of his traps, gets thrown upside down, and you as a player has to shoot zombies while you're upside down while Ellie tries to get you down. Like, that would have been dope to see that portrayed. And instead, we got a beautiful love story, but a love story nonetheless. So that's my issue. It's like, why cut that out, bro? Like, So, yeah.
I mean, because in a show, that's what you want to look for. I mean, we always talk about it, but the spare is what you want to look for in a show. You want to get to the point, it's like, are they going to make it? Will they survive? Or whatever have you. Whatever. Right. So, I know when you told me that, I was like,
yeah.
Because right now, it just seems like they kind of skating around, like the whole zombie thing, like it's like not as bad as what it looks like, if it makes sense, in the show.
Yeah.
And, so, like, the way I see it, where, like, as far as Ellie and things of that nature, like, to me, she's cool. And like I said, I wish I had the background and know more about her. But to me, for the show's sake, she's just annoying to me. Like, I'm like, you really don't serve no real purpose beyond whatever you got going on with your blood. Like, outside of that, she just there. She filling a space for me. Yeah.
And see, that's another thing, because in the game, it's like they dive deep into, like, their relationship. Like, and I will say there's certain elements she does possess of Ellie, but overall, I'm not convinced. And just certain times where she acts, like this last episode that came on when they got into the big argument, some of her acting was a little, it wasn't believable. And in the game, though, their relationship is like, the way they did it was just like, they executed it perfectly. It's like, you can see when they're both kind of clashing, when they don't really like each other type thing. Then you can kind of see she starts kind of warming up to him to see him as his father figure, and he's still kind of like standoffish because of what happened to his daughter, and he's scared. Mm-hmm. And then after, in the game, when he gets hurt, and that's another thing, the baseball bat thing was a cop-out to me, because in the game, he's legit fighting someone off of kind of like a balcony type thing, and they're fighting, and the balcony lets loose. Mm-hmm. Joel falls, and he falls on he gets impaled, because he falls on a rod, and it goes through him. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so to see this little fight with the guy, he doesn't realize he's stabbed with a baseball bat, versus that, like, that's crazy. But anyways, to say all that, that's kind of starts him to warm up to her, because she actually nurses him back to his health. Right. So, like, after that, they become even more closer. So it's like, I don't feel like they've really shown the relationship as it should be on TV. Because she's the Ellie in the game, you would like her a lot. Yeah. So.
But I mean, that's what I've noticed about, like, when it comes to just games in general, like their cutscenes and all that, they're way better than, any adaptation you could give them. Yeah. Because I don't think we've actually ever really seen, adaptation of a game to a movie actually be any good.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to that, I think the newest Tomb Raider, a couple other things that try to go from game to movie or whatever that just didn't hit right.
Yeah.
Like, even Uncharted, for instance. I was talking about Uncharted with somebody. It was like, the game's way better than the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure. But when I'm saying that, I'm like, this is kind of trash. So,
yeah.
I don't think there's ever been a time where you've gotten a real good adaptation. So where you can like, this is spot on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, even me, like, Xbox gamer over here, so y'all can shame me in the comments or whatever. But just like Halo, Halo came out with their series or whatever. Nothing like the game. I tried, like I looked at it and I was like, oh, y'all gonna let him take his helmet off? Right. See this man's face at Halo. Right. Take his helmet off. Right. So, I am interested in seeing what it's gonna be like towards the season finale, because it's like 6 episodes in now.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, 6 episodes in, and I think they got like 3 more episodes to the season finale or whatever, so I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm following it, not just because of the show, but I'm also following it because I'm interested to see what happens at the end of it or whatever. Yeah. But to be honest, I might still just go watch the gameplays just because.
Yeah, watch the gameplay. Then I feel like you'll kind of see like why people, because there's some people who play the game and they don't have no problems with the show, but it's like I feel like they rushed some parts. I feel like things that they took out they shouldn't have taken out. And I think probably the only episode that I felt like I actually really liked was with the two black brothers, and Sam and Henry.
Yeah, it was like episode 4.
Yeah, that scene played out almost identical to the game. Besides, Ellie didn't know that. I don't know if it was Sam or Henry. I think Henry was the little brother. She didn't know he got bitten.
I think Sam was little brother because he kept referring to Super Sam.
Okay, so Sam, she didn't know Sam was bitten. They made it in the show like she knew, and she was trying to like give him his blood. She didn't know. She just went in the room. He turned. He kept it from everybody. But after that, him shooting himself and the brother and all that happened for real. Yeah. But I think that was the only episode where I was like, oh shit! Like when the zombies came up out the ground, which is a new thing, so that doesn't happen in the game. Yeah, that was dope. That was super dope. Mm-hmm. But it's like everything else. Like I just feel like the stuff they chose to put in, I'm like, bruh, the game is a masterpiece. Y'all don't have to change too much. It's certain things that are weird, like the whole thing with Tess and one of the infected, like, I don't know if he was trying to kiss her or like what. I don't know what the hell that was.
I think it was kind of like the what's the word I'm looking for? Cause they made mention of it before, because like if I think it's something about like if one makes a sound or like you make a sound on those chords or whatever, all I'm gonna hear. Right. It's like a what's the word I'm looking for? Collective. Yeah. Collective. So I think at some point when he was approaching Tess and everything like that, he was making that bond with her. That's what I felt.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Well, besides that, it's like there's certain things I felt like were rushed, and I'm gonna be honest. Like even the first episode, like with them having the daughter go to the neighbor's house, I kind of was like, why?
She kind of pissed me off.
It pissed me the fuck off. Cause like, stay your ass in the house. Like, what are you doing? It's in the game. It's like legit. Starts out with her and Joel on the couch. She gives him the watch. Then she falls asleep. He puts her to bed. She wakes up. He's gone. She's like walking around the house. The news is on, hearing about shit that's going on. You hear explosions in the background. Then Joel comes in like, did you let anybody in here? You know, he's frantic. He has like some weapon in his hand. Then the neighbor busts through the glass and he kills the neighbor. And then they rush out to Tommy, comes and picks him up. And that's how the shit starts. I mean, there was other elements that I love that they changed. Like instead of the car crashing into them, the airplane crashes. Like that was cool. But it's like other things that they chose to. I was like, is it needed? Yeah. You know. Yeah. So I don't know. I said the last episode I watched, I said I'm not really excited at this point. I'm just watching it just because. Like at this point,
that's what I mean. Yeah. Like I done made it this far, might as well finish it out.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like coming into it, I hate to say it, I came in with an expectation of The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. That was my expectation. So I'm coming into it. I'm just like, okay, so these are plant zombies. Like I didn't really understand the concept of whatever. But you know, again, followed it, see where it was leading, seeing how they got to this point or whatever have you. And, you know, the way that I guess the currency and everything works, like, so I guess some parts of the world are government controlled. Yeah. You know, versus like when he met his brother, this was free range. They did their own thing. They had, you know, their own laws and government or whatever. So that was just kind of a weird dynamic because you see him working to burn bodies and then switch up to eating a full course meal, getting drinks at the bar. And I was like, this is a big change in dynamic. Yeah. So that's interesting to me. And then even with Bill's story as well, Bill had his own little world community, whatever, outside of everything else. So it's interesting to see those different things and how they play out and whatnot as far as, you know, how they go about things or whatever. Because, you know, it went from dealing with all that and then going to Bill's, you know, where he had good food there. He had ammunition, gasoline, and like I said, meet his brother finally and everything like that. And find out his brother got a whole new life, you know, with a baby on the way.
That was another, because I was just like, well, damn, like, you couldn't send your brother one last radio message? Like, you know, hey, I'm going into this town and I'm not allowed to, you know, how do you do something like that? You know, you just have your brother thinking, like, you dead. Like, and I was just like, that was kind of, but see, that never happened in the game. Like, I don't know. They didn't really. And I haven't played the game in such a long time. I don't know if they talked about what kind of happened, why they weren't together. Because he was in a town. He did end up getting married or whatever like that. But Joel never thought his brother was dead, if I'm not mistaken. Something happened where they just went their separate ways. So I was like, in the show, I was like, Tommy would never do some shit like this. Like, just not tell his brother. Like, why would you do that?
Because, I mean, he came in pissed. He was like, I know you've been getting my calls. Like, why you ain't respond back if you was okay or whatever? Did she make you not, respond?
He's like, well, they have rules. I'm like, bruh, this is your brother. Y'all are in apocalypse. Why would you just... But to touch on your other point about the governments, how, you have different... Fedra, which is in the game, and the Fireflies are fighting against Fedra because you see how ruthless they are. They'll hang you if you out during curfew and all this other stuff, which I thought that was cool for them to, like, dive into that, per se, because, the game is more than just the infected and all this other stuff. You do have the Fireflies, you do have Fedra, you gotta also watch your back for people and thugs and all this other shit, so that was cool. But just everything else, I just feel like it could have just been executed better. I mean, even with Bill, them showing a little backstory on how Bill got the town, I thought that was cool. I just felt like they just, if you're gonna do the love story, cool, but then the next episode show them trying to get the battery, like, and then you gonna kill Bill off. It's like, damn, like, and then I felt like they literally took out one of the dopest parts in the game, legit stripped it completely, just to put in this love story, and then to have Joel and Ellie come in at the end to be like, well, here's the battery. Or the battery, the truck was already fixed up and ready to go. So, yeah, so that's my gripe about it. I was like, damn, I really hate that y'all did that.
I wish I could share their anger, because I just...
I know, that's my first...
Yeah, I don't know how it's supposed to go.
People, like, even, like, my boyfriend watched the show, too. He's like, well, I love it. I'm like... Yeah, you love it because you haven't played the damn game. Like, if you played the game, oh my god, you would be like, well, why they chose to take this out? Like, why? So, I don't know, man. I guess the next episode is supposed to be the DLC, which, damn, do you want me to tell you? Because I know.
Is this for the episode?
It's the next episode.
The next episode coming up.
Yeah. I don't have to tell you what happens, like, the spoilers. I'll just say it's going to be about Riley and the friend they talked about. Okay. So it's going to be based on that DLC. And, well, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I'm not really pressed to see that episode because the DLC, I mean, the only thing that kind of really cool happened was towards the end. And I'm not going to say what happens, but hopefully that's done right. But at this point, I'm kind of I'm kind of over this show, to be honest with you.
I mean, like I said, it's been an interesting ride. And I guess, like I said, for me, not knowing the background, I just, it is what it is for me or whatever. But, like, I do sympathize for people that actually play the game. It's like, it could be so much better.
So much better.
And I'm like, I get it. But, it's just like one of those things, like, I think they definitely want to go their own route with it. Which is, I mean, it's obvious they want to go their own route with it or whatever. But, it's not one of those shows I'm just hanging on to each week to watch the next one.
Oh, yeah.
Like, really, to be honest, if it probably wasn't for Pedro, I probably wouldn't be watching it. Because, like, when he got stuff like The Mandalorian and, all that stuff, whatever, that you can keep up with, like, this is good.
Yeah.
Compared to this, it's just like, it's filling the gap.
Yeah, that's how I felt the first. Because remember, I posted, I was like, am I the only person who thought the first episode was mid? Everybody was like, this is the best game show adaptation. I'm like,
is it though?
Yeah, I'm like, are we watching the same show? I'm like, maybe I'm tripping because I played the game, but it was cool. It wasn't bad, but it was cool. It was like certain things I was like, why? And then the second episode was a snooze fest, in my opinion. I don't know, man. And then, like, you brought up Uncharted, because Uncharted 4 is legit, if not my favorite game ever of all times, one of my favorites. Definitely up there. Top 2. And I watched the movie recently, actually, and I actually didn't think it was bad, and maybe because I went in feeling like it was going to be trash. And maybe my expectations, So, but even with that, I feel like it's a good thing that they chose to go the TV show route, because I feel like games, you can't fit all of that in a movie, especially like Uncharted, which just spans over 4 games. And I see that they try to pull different stuff from, which I feel like it kind of worked. I'm not mad at it, but I feel like I'm happy The Last of Us chose to do the show route. The only thing is, I hate nowadays shows, they try, I don't know, I won't say they're afraid or they look at people's attention span, but now it seems like these streaming shows, they only have like a certain amount of episodes, so things just feel rushed instead of just taking your time. Like, so I don't know. That's my other gripe about it. Just
like
rush.
I can't speak to it.
Yeah, I know.
I can't speak to it. But just going back to what was it, episode 3, the Bill, Frank episode, whatever. Like, it's crazy how, I guess, heartfelt that episode was, even to, you know, as a heterosexual male, whatever.
Yeah.
Looking at it, it's like, you understood what was going on. You understood the love between them two and everything like that, or whatever. And I was like, this is crazy. I never thought I'd relate to something like that, or whatever. But they told a beautiful story.
Yeah.
So after I got through watching that, I'm like, oh man. So I wonder if this was like this in the game. No. I was like, oh damn. Oh my bad. Like I thought it was part of the game.
No, it's Bill. Frank is dead in the game, and we actually see his body because.
So did Bill kill him in the game, or
no? So how we even find out about Frank is because Bill, he keeps alluding to this partner that he has. They fell out for whatever reason. He's like always talking bad about them while you're playing as Joel and you're with Ellie walking with him and stuff like that. And even in the game, he'll say partner, so he's alluding that he's gay. And then you'll see like, I didn't see him, but somebody has said you'll see like gay magazines in his house or whatever. But how you found out that Frank is dead is that they'll come across his body, I guess, in the house that he chose to be in, and he's hung himself, and he basically and he leaves a letter for Bill, basically saying the battery that y'all are looking for, I took it to try to get out of this town, and you said that me trying to leave would kill me, and I guess you were right. He ended up getting bit, and he hung himself before he turned. So. And then you can see Bill was trying to like play it off like he didn't care, but it hurt him. So that's what happened in the game. Frank is not even in the game at all.
So, and look, and this whole time I thought you was leading up to like, like it was alluded to like this was a scene that happened, but it didn't really happen. So basically what you saying is they got into a fight. Frank still stayed in the area, just not with Bill in another house. And then hung himself because he got bit, but then took the battery out of spite.
Yeah, well, he tried to take the battery because he wanted to leave the town. I guess however way they got into it, he ended up they probably broke up, and he was like, F you, da-da-da. Right. He took the battery without Bill knowing, because Joel and Ellie were trying, Bill didn't even know when Joel and Ellie came looking for they needed the battery, and Bill thought he had it. He didn't have it. So he's like, well, where is it? And then they found the letter, and they're like, oh, well... Frank had it the whole time.
Wow.
So, and meanwhile, that whole section of the game is just action-packed from start to finish.
Then why not make that episode action-packed? Like, the only little bit of action you got is when people decided they were going to swarm up, and then Bill's like, nah, I set this up to where y'all not getting in here. And that was the only little bit of action you got.
That's what I'm saying. They kind of alluded to that, and I thought they were going to go the game route, because I don't know if you remember in the scene, Frank was like, fuck you. Bill was running after him, and they made up. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're not going to go the route of the game. But yeah, none of what happened in the show happened in the game. None of that happened. Which, like I'm going to say again, I thought the love story was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But that should have been... Y'all shouldn't have took away all that. Like, come on. Like, I was just like, are you serious? That would have been so cool to see. Because you barely see the zombies in the show as it is. Even though I know that's not the biggest part of the game.
No, but it's
right. Yeah. So, bruh, yeah.
Like I said, that's why I said I came in there with expectations of, what's it called? I forgot the damn show.
Oh, Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. That's the expectation I came. Like, every corner you're going to see a zombie, you fight for your life. And it's just like, nah, it's like they out there, but they ain't as bad as you think it is type deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
And I think in the game they do try to do it like, oh, you think the zombies are the only threat out here? No, we got Fedra, we got Fireflies, we got niggas out here trying to rob you and stuff like that, which is cool. But it's like the show almost completely, I want to say low-key, it's not really a lot of zombie action going on at all, really.
Nah, the biggest little bit of action you've seen was
that episode.
When they came over there, the big one came out.
Yeah. Yeah. When they came running out the ground, I was like, oh, okay.
Like, just started hearing niggas in trouble.
Right.
Like, niggas in trouble, like, oh, shit.
Right. Yeah, so, and I mean, even with that scene where Joel's up in the building, he's like shooting, that was in the game too, but it was like, I believe it was during daytime, but... And then he was trying to cover them or whatever. But the lady that took over with her brother, and that was never in the game.
Did anybody else think their relationship was a little weird? Was the guy with the gun, the army kind of guy? That her brother?
No, that's not her brother. Her brother died. Remember, Henry turned him in for his brother. So.
I'm about to say that. I was like, something over
there. And that's funny because the guy who plays him actually plays Tommy in the video game.
I heard.
Yeah,
I heard.
Which is dope. Yeah, and even the black lady who plays starts with an N or M or something. The leader of the Fireflies. I forgot her name. But she actually, that's the same character, which I thought was dope too. So
that's the one that was injured and told
which that never happened in the game.
Well, damn.
Yeah, they changed a lot. They changed.
I feel like the only thing that happened in the show versus the game was Joel's daughter died. That's about it. But then, even like I said, to your point, the way she died didn't go like how it did in the show. It
went the way she died. They nailed it in terms of that. But it's like in the game, it's like you can hear this cop or the soldier talking to the guy. He's like, "Yes, sir. It's a little girl, whatever." Da da da. He's like, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." Like he doesn't want to do it, and I feel like the guy didn't convey that much emotion. He was kind of like, "Yes, sir."
He's like, "Hey, this what's up?"
Yeah, all right, right, yeah. And even with, and then even that whole opening scene with Joel's like literally, and I know they had to like shrink it, but I just felt like even with that, like him just kind of standing to see the zombie sit up, it's like, nigga, run. Like, what are you, run away? Like in the game, he's like legit, you feel frantic with them, and I feel like that just kind of, it missed the mark on that a little bit. So yeah, and then even with Tess, they changed that. Actually, zombies weren't there. And killed, I guess they were Fireflies that were there when they got there. I'm trying to think. I think it was I believe it was Fedra who, and I could be wrong, I may be wrong, don't crucify me, but I think it was Fedra that discovered they were in there. And she basically showed how that scene, she pulled down her shirt and she showed she got bit, and she was like, take her, like, I'm bit, I'm fucked, but take Ellie, she can definitely give us the cure. And then Joel takes her, and then she picks up the gun, and I think, she provokes him or whatever. She ends up getting shot dead. So the whole zombie thing, that didn't even happen in the game. They changed that up, which I didn't hate, but like I said, that whole him, all that, and I was like, okay. I don't know, because I wasn't in the game either. They added that, which I don't hate that either, because I feel like if it's fungus, I thought that was kind of cool to add in there, how they got in their mouths, because it makes sense. Yeah, so that's
some of them parts like
it's nasty. Right. So I hope we see more bloaters, the big guys too, because those are supposed to be people that been infected for like over 20 years, like when the shit first started. Yeah. So I hope we see more of that. But overall, I'm not super excited about the show. I'm just kind of watching it just to be in the loop.
Just to finish it out.
Yeah.
That's what we do here. We try to keep up with all the current stuff, and that's where we are with it or whatever. But I will say, like, the scene you had talked about when Ellie used her blood to rub it on Sam, thinking it would save him. I was like, that's messed up, because for me, like, at first when he showed her his bite or whatever, I assumed maybe he was like her, like, oh, like, I got a bite, but I'm not infected, like I haven't turned yet. Yeah. But then she was like, oh, my blood got medicine to me. Just put my blood on you. You should be okay. Next morning, he's sitting there, not moving. I'm like, is he good?
Yeah,
like, right. And then as she's walking, I'm like, nah, he done turned. And I was like, dang, not little homie, not Super Saiyan.
Yeah. See, I thought because I don't know if Henry, the older brother, was kind of acting a little weird after they got back. Like he was talking, but it seemed like he was real shaken up. Like, and I was like, maybe they flipped it to make him bitten, and the little brother be okay. But when Sam was in the room with Ellie, and he showed her that he was bit. I was like, oh shit! So they're still gonna go with the game.
Yeah.
So when they showed that, I was like, oh, it's a wrap. She can try to rub all the blood she wants on him. I already know what's gonna happen. He's dead. He's about to turn, and they're gonna play this shit out, and which they did. So, but I mean, maybe they did that on purpose to kind of throw people who've already seen it off a little bit.
Maybe
because I was like, did he get bit or? But yeah, that part was definitely sad. When I first saw it in the game, I was like, damn, that's sad.
Because, I mean, his brother, when, his brother did come out there and he saw he was infected, Joel's about to go. He like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
He like, nah, no.
Yeah.
If anybody's going to do it, I'm going to kill my brother.
Yeah.
And then that's what he did. And then he was like,
fucking
kill
oh my God,
brother. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, because, like, I guess in my head, looking at him, he's like, I did all this shit for him.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing else.
Yeah, and just for him to end up like that, and he's sick on top of that, he probably was like, all that shit was going through his head, like, oh my God. Probably feeling like I failed as an older brother. Like you said, I did all this shit for him. Like, I caused, like, a full out, almost low-key battle type thing, right, all for this to happen. Like, it's crazy. Which I feel like, honestly, I will say, now talking about it, I feel like that adds more of an emotional weight, more so than the game. Because the fact that he did all... Because none of that was in the game. Him selling out Catherine's brother? I don't know her name. She was kind of like, eh. Like, she wasn't really, not significant. Yeah. But that didn't happen in the game. It legit, they came across Henry and Sam, and all that played out the way it did, besides the whole uprising and all this other stuff. But I feel like because they put that in the show, it does add more of an emotional weight. Like, he has leukemia, and then he did that to save his brother, and then for that to happen, it's like, well, damn. Like, I failed.
With shit, so.
Right. So, yeah. That I thought that scene was done right. That was done right. It was done right.
Because, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have mind seeing more of his character, just because... he did everything for a right cause, but he still snitched.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But it would have been interesting to see more of him or whatever, because, you could just tell the emotional toll was too much. Even if they want to flip, it's like, nah, like, he literally did all this for him, so there's nothing else for him.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's one of the things I can agree on that they did right. My only thing is, I think, because I don't know if you've seen, The Last of Us Part 2, seen any gameplay or whatever. I started watching, and I'm not, because I know you didn't see it, but I'm definitely not going to say nothing because I don't want to spoil nothing, but it's going to piss you off. I'll say this. Go back, either watch the gameplay of the first one or play it. Better yet, you should just play it. But so you can really be invested in Joel and Ellie. The Part 2 Last of Us second that came out is going to piss you the frick off. I didn't even finish it. Something happened in that game that I don't know what happens in that game to this day, because I can't watch it. I think probably the day before yesterday, I kind of clicked on this video of something that happened. I'm not going to spoil it. And I kind of was like, okay, let me just kind of... And I couldn't do it. I was like, I still can't watch it. And then how they ended it pissed me off, which is a lot of people gripe about the video game. So the thing that pissed me off about that is that it's clearly been, I think, a few years that have passed. Ellie's older. And I think for his second season, they're just going to jump right into Part 2, which I'm like, how are y'all speeding through a whole game in a few, 10 episodes, and then next season, now we're in Part 2?
Yeah.
Like, for season 2, so I guess that's the end of it. Like, because after season 2, that's it. Because Part 2 is the last game that came out. So, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I just feel like they gotta stop rushing to get stuff out and just take their time. I would have been fine with them ending off on probably like half of the game, and then next season do the other half of the game, and then But
drag it out.
Yeah.
Drag it out, but be able to put more detail into it, whatever, versus, just all these different episodes or whatever and try to compile all of them in one, just spread it out.
Yeah. And then another part that was different in the show and the game was Tommy's wife actually, because Joel had asked Tommy to come with him. First he had his reservations, but he finally just went on because it's his brother. But Tommy's wife actually came to Joel and basically was like, if he dies and you let him die, I'm on your ass. Like, and I guess Joel thought about it and told Tommy, like, when they were halfway or getting ready to start on the journey, he was like, no, just go back. Like, because I don't want no smoke with your wife, and I care about you. You got your own life here, so
right.
So that's what happened. So I don't know. It's certain things that they changed, like I said, in the game, in the show, that I felt like was unnecessary. Because I feel like they could have kept how it happened in the game in the show, but
hey, that'll be right. I mean, if y'all watching this now, like, if you're a fan of the game, hey, let us know, how different it was for you versus watching the show, because like Shalon said or whatever, there were some people that were like, oh, this is great, this is spot on, but it just begs the question or whatever, because like I said, of course you wouldn't play the game unless you had PlayStation for one,
right.
So that's one thing or whatever. So it'd be interesting to see how it go, because I think HBO Max is buying a couple of other things from Sony as well.
I heard.
Yeah, I think it was either HBO Max or Amazon that want to buy God of War for a series.
I think it's Amazon.
It's Amazon?
I think. But if they do God of War, they better goddamn do it right. Because
because I told you I love Greek mythology, so if they gonna go for it, they gotta full send it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they need to choose. Do not cast The Rock. I'm tired of seeing The Rock everywhere. Please do not do that. Please cast the right Kratos. I'm begging y'all, please, because they do that. Because actually, I think I post about this. I always get smoke about this, but I don't care. I don't think God of War 4 was what it hyped up to be. I don't care. It was repetitive. We in worlds that look like they were half-ass done. Like, they didn't put no thought in these worlds that certain, like the dark elves, light elves realm was half-ass done. It gets to a point where you have to go back, and which I don't mind sometimes when they let you go back to levels again, but it just felt, and it was obviously repetitive. Like, you're fighting the same enemies over and over again. No.
So just recycled.
Yeah, it was recycled. But Ragnarok, I felt like they legit listened to me, like, on some, like, they came to me specifically, was like, what are the issues you have with this game? And they fixed everything. I mean, Ragnarok was chef's kiss. Yeah. Chef's kiss. It was amazing. That made me, like, a fan for real, like, made me invested to be like, oh shit, like, this is amazing type thing. So yeah, they better do it right.
I don't know, man. I think PlayStation 4 is going for about 100. Might copy one. Fix them that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Ragnarok, but you may like the fourth one if you like a lot of action and just beating stuff up. Like, you'll like 4. Yeah. But story wise and just the whole package, Ragnarok is amazing. It's amazing, for real. But yeah, they do God of War. I feel like they need to start from the beginning and then work their way. Don't start off with him having his son already. I hope they don't do that, but
I would hope not. I mean, if they gotta do it right, they gotta start from the beginning. Give his backstory where he lost his, family and all that. That would be decent.
They got a lot of material, for real. Yeah.
So, I mean, they could drag that out, and I would think easily make at least about 4 seasons.
Yeah, easily. If more, if they wanted to, because they got so much material, so many games. So I hope they don't rush through that. But yeah, I don't want to see The Rock or Jason Momoa. I'm sorry. I'm tired of seeing them in everything. No Vin Diesel.
Because I think Batista was campaigning for it too, but I think he opted out now.
I saw that because I think the guy who actually voices Kratos, which he has the dopest voice ever.
Wait, so who do you think was better, the voice now or the guy from I know his name, I can't remember. The guy from Never Say
Carl it's with a T. Carl, is it Carl T.C. Carlson? I think that's what it is. He played whatchamacallit on Living Single. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like how I feel with Gandalf and Harry Potter. It's like the first two, not Gandalf, shit. I want those people. Damn, my bad. Please don't crucify me for that. But because I was thinking about Lord of the Rings adaptation, and then because we were talking about adaptation, so I just automatically thought of Gandalf. But no, Dumbledore. It's kind of like in Harry Potter movies where the first two movies you got the Dumbledore, and then he ended up unfortunately passing away, rest in peace. And then they got the Dumbledore that was for the rest of the movies. I feel like it worked for the direction they were going in, because the first Dumbledore was like more upbeat because the movies were like cheery and kiddish or whatever. Then we got the more serious Dumbledore and then the movies were getting more serious. So I feel like with God of War it also applies. I feel like T.C. Carlson was great for the first three, and then when it was time to revamp or whatever you call it, come out with this one, I feel like the other guy is perfect for this one. So I feel like they're both great. Like, honestly, they're both great. But, so. And then too, I'm always going to be for my people, 2 black men doing anything. So, yeah, I think they're both dope. Yeah. But I heard he wants to be the one to play him. Play Kratos. Yeah, I'm like, you're amazing, but I don't know. You don't. I don't know.
I don't see it. And then, like, being a fan of Stargate, like, if Stargate, looking at Stargate and looking at him, and I'm like, I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't
see it.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying he don't have the much for it, not saying he don't have the swagger for it, but I don't see it personally.
Yeah, because he's literally, they do the capture, motion capture. Mm-hmm. He's literally Kratos. Like, he's literally Kratos, but it's like, as far as like, I guess the true embodiment, like the looks and everything, because I'm sorry, I don't want to say it, but just the looks and everything, I don't think so. However, his son, the guy who plays son, could play the son, because that's literally modeled after how he looks. So, but yeah, so I don't know. But
I mean, I will say, I mean, he got a strong face, but he also got a soft face at the same time.
Yeah,
that makes sense. And if you throw a beard on him, I don't know. I don't see it.
I feel like it may be,
because like you said, he got to walk, like he's doing a motion capture, so that's him walking, and I get that, but I don't think enough makeup gonna make him look like Kratos in the grand scheme of things, and they decide to make a show.
And then I feel like he may look, I don't want to say this right way. Fuck it, I'm black too. Because he's black, of course, but I feel like Kratos' skin, he has the ashes of his loved ones on his skin, so I feel like, would that translate on stream? You know what I'm saying? Like, would that translate?
I know what you're trying to say.
I don't know. And then I could be wrong. I feel like shit, if he tries out for the part or auditions and they cast him, I'm for it. I'm not against it, because I feel like he is Kratos. I mean, his mannerisms, that's Kratos. But
if you go by the mannerisms, what's not, I mean, for sure, he got it. Like, if he's reading for the part, it's over with.
Yeah.
But it's just, I guess you gotta see it.
Yeah. That's where I'm at with it. I would just have to see. Because I feel like how people are already, which I take that back, because I see a lot of people campaigning for him to play the role. I just know how some people are with this black and white thing. I just don't want him to go up there looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely something to worry about, because at the end of the day, if the character was modeled off of him like it was the boy, it would be simple. It would be simple. But since he's not, it's gonna look a little weird.
I want it to look cosplayish, or Halloweenish.
Cosplay. He's gonna be, playing white or something like that. That's what I'm like. I don't want it to. I want it to feel like this is Kratos, not like he's playing him or on some shit, like So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. I just hope it's done right. For sure.
You're gonna do that, so yeah.
But
oh yeah, we gonna veer it off again, y'all.
I mean, again, like as far as The Last of Us goes, like I said, been enjoying it, just trying to kind of just ride the wave until it's done. But outside of that, I don't know what's coming up as far as any more adaptations. But at this point in the game, just give me something. I don't need an adaptation. Just give me something new.
Yeah.
Like, when we talked about the Rings of Power a while ago, whatever, even though that was right off of Lord of the Rings, it was still held on by itself. So, so I definitely would rather just more of those or whatever.
Something that hasn't, because, even though it's based off of something like you said, it still it's not really, it hasn't been done before. Like, it's no show that has already been cemented or a film. They just taking and try to make it into a show, or there's no game out or whatever like that. I'm with you. I'm like, can we just get new stories? Because even with, they're trying to do One Piece, and it's like, One Piece is one of my favorite animes, right? And it's like, no, like, this is gonna leave animes. Me personally, I don't think no anime should be live action, because it always is done terribly. And and it's hard. It's definitely hard to translate, because anime is like these full, how's the word, flamboyant characters, and the hair. I'm sorry, it looks dumb in live action. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. Yeah. So just leave it alone. And then Netflix isn't known for the best adaptations, like, at all. So I don't know how that's gonna turn out, but I don't have high hopes.
Yeah, because we talked about this before. The only one they've had decent was Cowboy Bebop. That's probably about the only one that was decent.
And even with that, I tried to watch one. I couldn't do it, but I'm not being fair, because I didn't give myself a chance. I kind of watched it. I was like, I'm good. Same. So I don't know. And dang.
I get another one. Finish this thing out.
All right. But I think I was going to go into the Last Airbender. I feel like shit. I don't want to see a recap of, do them when they're older, okay? Like, I want to see that, what happened after they saved the nations, and show them when they're older. Even, I'm fine with Kyoshi, like, or the previous avatars. I don't want to see nothing that's already been done. Give me new stories.
I think after the movie, I think they just got something to prove. I think they just want to show they can do better than the movie. Because anything, I think anybody can do better than the movie at this point. So I think they just gonna follow Aang and all that, and go through there, because they just feel like that's what people want, and which is like,
I'm
good.
You
do it right.
The show was a masterpiece. Like, I'm fine off the show.
I can watch Avatar over again, no problem.
Yeah, I legit. There's times where I'll, like, at the period of time, I'll just rewatch the whole series over again, just because, like, it's that good. So it's like, I'm good off the show. Just give me new avatars or whatever. But I heard, talking to my father, I don't know how true it is, that they may do another avatar after Korra. And I'm like, well, are they going to be in the modern times at this point? Like,
I mean,
because Korra was kind of like,
she was touching.
Yeah,
I get they might.
That's what I'm saying. But you know how they do when they try to be updating the cell phones. And did you see the avatar on Instagram? Like, I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's gonna make it corny and lame. So
I mean, that's where Dragon Ball Z messed up. Evolution, that's where they messed up. They tried to modernize it, and they shit the bed on.
That's how Hey Arnold fucked up with that damn Jungle movie. Like, that bullshit. It's like you got Rhonda on the bed or whatever on her phone and on MySpace or something. Like, I don't care about that. So, I don't know. I hope they don't mess it up by doing that. But after Korra, I don't need no Avatar after anyway. Korra fucked it up for me because she was terrible. In my opinion.
No, I mean, you can't beat the OG. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you can't. Nah. So, I don't know. The best thing that came out of Korra to me was when they did Wan, the first Avatar ever. That was dope, even though then it kind of changed everything that Aang's series was built on, as far as like the spirit realm and how niggas got they bending powers and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm like, okay, so the how did they explain it? I think they were saying something dealing with, I gotta go back and look, but basically, you know how in the original series they learned from animals, like the moon with water bending, and the sky bison with air bending and all. Then they switched it to they were living on the toads. You know those big toad things? I forgot what it was called, but Aang went there right before he fought the Fire Lord. And he ventured over there, and he went into the spirit realm, and he was talking to all the past avatars. So they were living on these animals, and it was like these groups of people, and they all had like one power or whatever, but it was given to them by the little toad things that did like the turtles or some shit. And yeah, it's like it's dumb. It's like how y'all, because it's cool to say that we learned from the what's some shit, the earth bending from Toph. She learned from the beavers or something. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, but either way, it's like, yeah, that was my only gripe about the first Avatar. But other than that, that was the only dope thing that came out of Korra, in my opinion. But anyways, we're getting on time. The Last of Us, I hope that. Well, I don't hope shit. I'm there's no expectation. I'm just here to watch at this point. I'm just chilling. Yes. Something to watch. I'm over it. They fucked it up for me.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you watching this, we just really just broke down episodes 1 through 6. So 7 will be coming out, but we don't want to spoil that one for you. So whenever when you see this, we'll just be talking about 1 through 6. So like we said, I think it's only 3 episodes left to the season finale. Yeah. So then we'll just see where it goes from there, and just.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, are we gonna do like another episode to talk about the last 3 episodes? Or you think?
Yeah, we can knock that out. People that's following it or whatever, just knock out the last 3 episodes. But all right, cool. We're here now. We made it. Yeah. Let's talk about it. But that can definitely be a little special episode or whatever, because we still got some gaps for other stuff that is coming out. So because I think Guardians of the Galaxy, it's coming out next month if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And then I think Shazam is too. But we love y'all, but I'm sorry, I'm not gonna pay to go see Shazam.
Yeah, I got this illegal site. I'm gonna see what that's talking about.
I might have to go be a pirate, because I don't see myself paying for it. Like we buzzed a little bit on Black Adam because we had faith for it. But Shazam,
hell no,
I don't have faith in it.
Yeah.
Like if HBO Max decide, hey, we're gonna start putting movies back up again, like I'm gonna watch it right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Bet, y'all, here we
go. But I'm not
not
gonna pay to see it. Now I'll probably go pay to see Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll probably go do that. But as far as Shazam goes,
just off the strength of the MC relationship,
MCU relationship, that's the only reason.
Yeah.
Because even outside of that, I think does Flash come out in May?
Does it? I think, it does come out in May, I think.
Yeah, so, and then even then
it's like it's a risk. It's a risk. It's a risk to even pay to see that shit.
Because I'm telling you this, if it wasn't for Michael Keaton, I probably wouldn't even be considering it. Like, just because he's coming back, I just might go out. But I'm talking about going to the matinee. Like, I'm not spending my big bucks on it. So, so y'all stay tuned for that. I didn't know that one didn't die either. Is it still on?
It looks like it is. Did it?
That mug ain't recording. I don't see no red dot.
No.
Hold on.
Okay.
It was like,
right. And like y'all said y'all was about to be done. What's going on?
That thing had a full battery.
Right.
Record. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you got 2 bars. What you doing?
Yeah, I don't know when. Unless he just was like, y'all need to hurry the hell up.
Y'all said y'all.
Right.
Said you finished or you done.
So what y'all doing?
So, little technical difficulty.
Right.
But yeah, again, got more stuff coming up. But of course, we always keep y'all updated on the news and what we got coming up next or whatever. And y'all definitely just stay tuned or whatnot. And like I said, you'll hear from us from there. So, Shalon, if you want to close us out.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. And we are out. I am your co-host, Shalon, and this is
K1.
And we will be back with the next episode. Peace.
Woo. That camera said, y'all gonna
I know.
y'all gonna end it or I'm gonna end it.
I know. He was like, so,